Hey guys, alright, it's Brett from IBMA, how's it going? And in case you don't know, I run a channel on old style Kung Fu and old style martial arts conditioning, training and strengthening methods. So that's things like Iron Palm, Iron Fist, Qigong and things like that, and just old style conditionings, old style strength trainings, yeah? So yeah, I'm basically into the old school sort of martial arts, but I love all the martial arts. Yeah. So I just wanted to comment because the guys over at Fight Tips, which is a big channel, way bigger than mine, did a video on knuckle conditioning, and I thought I'd put this as a video response to theirs, seeing as sort of Iron Hand and conditioning training and Iron Palm is like something I try and specialize in, so body conditioning. So the guys at Fight Tips did a video on conditioning your knuckles, yeah. And what I wanted to say is, like, I was really impressed. Now I'm not saying this in like a condescending way because yeah, you know, they've got a huge channel and you know, obviously lots of fighting experience. But just from a personal point of view, as a traditional martial arts practitioner, I was really impressed with the tips and the things that the guys were saying on the channel there. The fact that they you know, they had looked, that the host had looked at his sport fighting that he'd been doing, or his like combat fighting, and he analysed it, and he'd seen some small bits and pieces that he didn't like. For instance, you know, he was like, yeah, the gloves that I've been wearing for years, you know, have like not quite, you know, got my wrists tough enough. There's issues with the alignment of my punches when I'm shadow boxing compared to just boxing a bag bare knuckle. And yeah, he just, you know, as a good martial artist, he looked at it. Even though he's very skillful and good, he still looked at himself and he was like, yeah, you know what, I can improve more, and this is an area. So it's really cool because, you know, he's got nothing to prove. He's done his his fighting, ring fighting, you know, he's an experienced guy. He's got nothing to prove to anyone really, and you know, but he's analysed himself and come out and gone, yeah, you know. So I'll put the link to the video down here, but this is a video response to that. You guys can check out my channel if you want to see what I do with the conditioning and the training stuff and kind of the angle that I'm coming from. But all I wanted to say is check out that video because all the stuff is really valid for like a beginner or for anyone training, or if you do like boxing or you do like a lot of Thai fighting or something like that, or just an art where you don't, you know, you've got to wear gloves all the time. You know, I think most martial artists will branch off and, you know, they'll still condition their knuckles bare or whatever. But as the guy said in the video, his hands are his money makers, so he doesn't want to damage them and break them and stuff. So here comes to my next point. So in its place, he offers like a hand conditioning, knuckle conditioning routine. And the routine, I would say, is actually really good, because why I like it is because it's really simple. Yeah, you know, he's like, okay, I want you to wrap your hands and I want you to punch a heavy bag. You know, and also what I like is the time frames. Even from a traditional Kung Fu conditioning point of view, the time frames are very good and realistic for the student. Yeah, he's not saying, oh, punch a heavy bag for a few weeks, you know. He's really realizing as a martial artist that you've got to give yourself time to let these skills get ingrained into you and let your bone densen over time, because it has to calcify, it has to build, and it taxes your organs if you look into the health and Qigong and Chinese medicine side of it. So this is why it's awesome that he proposes you know, like, I think it's like a 6-month routine where he's like, I want you to wrap your hands, I want you to punch the bag for 6 months, you know, and then he's like, well, then you can go down to lighter bags. Obviously, I guess he's going from like a total beginner, you know, someone who's never done anything, so he's giving them that advice. Obviously, if you've had years of training, you know, that you can skip a thing, and then he goes on to saying how he puts on smaller gloves, and he does that for some more months, does that for some more months, and then finally, yeah, you know, after those months as a real, you know, so he's keeping it real safe for the practitioner. After those like 12 months or whatever it is, or 8, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, whatever it is of doing that, you know, he's saying that then you introduce like bare knuckle striking to the bag, and that would equate to like someone like me or someone, you know, another experienced martial artist or whatever, or someone who's been doing martial arts for years, you know, just, you know, punching on the heavy bag to go. I mean, because what I'm saying is you might not have to do those first steps, but surely they might be able to help you. Yeah. So if you guys follow my channel, obviously you're more likely to follow fighting tips than you are to follow my channel. But for the guys that follow my channel, you know, I thought those were some, you know, coming from a sort of sports combat place, but also a really good martial artist. You know, that's a real good. It was a good understanding. It was a good overview. You know, it was a good proposed routine that someone could do. Obviously, you need a heavy bag, and there's a lot of people out there who don't have access to a heavy bag or whatever, you know, or don't want to go to the gym and do that. But then there's other things you can train on, so you could substitute those for like a wall sandbag, other training methods that, you know, I've talked about in the past. But yeah, I just wanted to give, not that they need it because they've got so many views and subscribers, but I just wanted to give fighting tips from a traditional old style Kung Fu point of view. The thumbs up for their good realistic appraisal of the conditioning process, and mainly their good supplementation, what they say, oh, you can do this. And it's a really sort of cover all, you know, available to all martial arts sort of method that they propose, which is good. You know, it doesn't exclude anyone. So yeah, to that regard, I wanted to just make this video and say, as a response video, and just say, yeah, you know, it's awesome that this guy has analysed his alignment, has analysed the way he has to hold his hands differently for bare knuckle, and realised as a martial artist, even though, you know, he's a experienced and accomplished martial artist, you know, he's done the one thing that the real good martial artists do, is they look at themselves and they go, what can I do better? You know, what's the flaw? You know, and maybe if all the people in the traditional martial arts world as well looked at themselves, looked at their forms, looked at their ways, and thought, you know, I need to adapt. What can I do better? You know, then, you know, they too would improve. You know, instead of maybe staying stagnant or getting criticized for having skills that aren't applicable anymore in the modern day. But anyway, guys, that's just a quick one about that. So I'll put all the links in the channel below. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. Come across to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IBMA. Subscribe there. Doing some 72 Secret Arts of the Shaolin. I'm doing some other videos like that and conditioning and stuff. And there's plenty of free videos on my channel as well, dating back to the last 5 years of training. So you guys can see there that I'm what I do. What I say, I do. Yeah, you know, I'm not making anything up. You know, if I tell you I've done something, it's probably there for proof there for you to see. Anyway, guys, hey, have a good one, good training, and